Check 1, 2. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as we are ready to watch the Detroit Lions take on the Philadelphia Eagles here on Sunday Night Football. My name is Mark Aziz, and I'll be broadcasting the game for you. So we have a NFC matchup that many people have been waiting to see. This is what many had thought would have been the NFC Championship last year had Detroit not been upset by the upstart Washington Commanders. Both the Lions and the Eagles sit atop the NFC. The Lions at 6-3, the Eagles at 7-2. The Eagles are defending Super Bowl champions led by Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts. This is shaping up to be a battle as a measuring stick game, as this is the battle for NFC supremacy. A win for either team could possibly mean the number one seed in the playoffs. Now, for these two teams, we have some really good offenses, some really good defense. The Lions just had a play calling shift. Dan Campbell, the head coach, has decided to take on offensive play calling duties, and that led to a 546-yard explosion just last week. That game was the first since Dan Campbell took over those play calling duties, and it seemed to have unlocked their offense, led by Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and David Montgomery. Now, the main question here is that can Jared Goff sustain that efficiency against a far tougher Philly defense, especially under the primetime lights? Now, another thing to keep in mind is that the running game and the run defense has been a strength for Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs has been the lead back for Detroit, and they're likely going to lean into him to control the ground game and take over that time of possession. Now, on the flip side, the Eagles' defense is going to be tested with their run-stopping abilities, and the Eagles have a really, really good defensive line that has Jalen Carter, Jalen Phillips, Jordan, I believe, Jordan, the name's escaping me at the moment, Jordan Davis, and Moro Ojomo, who lead the defensive line, and that's been probably one of the most dominant defenses in the league so far. So we'll see what the Detroit Lions will be able to do against these defending Super Bowl champion Eagles in Philly, and possibly one of the most hostile home environments in the NFL. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with kickoff after this. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football, where the Detroit Lions at 6-3 take on the 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles. It's a cold, windy night here in Philadelphia. In the warm-ups, kickers are having trouble trying to hit their field goals as the wind sails it all over the place. It'll be tough sledding for these two teams, as it appears that Philadelphia will be receiving the kickoff. You got Will Shipley and Xavier Gibson on the return, as Jake Bates kicks things off here for Detroit and Philadelphia. An NFC heavyweight bout is about to commence as Jalen Hurts and company take the field. So for the offense on Philly, you have starting quarterback Jalen Hurts. For his offensive line, you have Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen, and Lane Johnson. For the wide receivers, we have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson. On the running backs, there's Saquon Barkley, and the tight end is Dallas Goedert. Eagles get the ball on their 35-yard line to begin things. It'll be 1st down and 10. Eagles showing a single back formation as Hurts is under center to take the first snap of this game. It'll be a fake handoff. Hurts throws. Pass is falling incomplete. It was Dotson, the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Amik Robertson was the one defending there. Both teams coming off big wins last week as the Lions get payback over the Washington Commanders for defeating them in the NFC Divisional last year as they trounced them 44-22. Meanwhile, the Eagles won last Monday night as that was an incomplete pass to Dallas Goedert. Dropped it, had it in his hands, but couldn't hang on. Eagles won last Monday night against the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay in a 10-7 victory. Now, one of the things to pay attention to here with the Philadelphia Eagles is the discontent of wide receiver A.J. Brown, who's been voicing his displeasure with the way the offense has been operating all year. His numbers were far down compared to what they were before. It's a 3rd down and 10. Eagles haven't moved the ball a yard. Well, let's see if they can do it here on this 3rd down. Hurts drops back, throws, and connects. That's A.J. Brown on the completion. And the Eagles will get a 1st down. Rock Ya-Sin on the tackle. But A.J. Brown hits the curl route and is able to get the 1st down plus an extra couple of yards to move the sticks for Philadelphia. It's 1st down on the Eagles' 47-yard line. Eagles in shotgun formation. Lions rush 4. Hurts scrambles to his left, throws a deep pass intended for Saquon, and they'll say, no, it's incomplete. He stepped out of bounds. There's a flag on the field. We'll see what it is. It looks like it's back near the line of scrimmage, possibly a holding penalty on the offense, and that it is. It'll be holding on Lane Johnson, the right tackle, who had to step out of last Monday night's game due to an ankle injury. But here he is tonight starting as he gets called for the hold against Aiden Hutchinson. Al-Qadim Muhammad was covering Saquon Barkley on that play, but it won't matter as it's 1st down and 20 after the penalty. This time it's Bigsby in the backfield as Hurts hands it off to Bigsby as he goes up the gut and is taken down by Williams on the play. It'll be a gain of 5. Tyleek Williams on the tackle. And this time we'll introduce to you the Detroit defense. On the defensive line, we have Aiden Hutchinson, Alim McNeil, DJ Reader, and Al-Qadin Muhammad. For the linebacking core, we have Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, and Derek Barnes. In the secondary, we have Terrian Arnold, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Amik Robertson, and Arthur Mollett. Second down and 15 for the Philadelphia Eagles as Hurts takes the snap from the shotgun and hurls a deep pass intended for A.J. Brown, but it falls incomplete behind his receiver. Eagles having offensive woes all season, yet their record remains atop the NFC at 7-2. Only losses were to the Denver Broncos, who were 8-2, and a rare upset over the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football. Third down and 15. Hurts in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's looking to throw. Hurts, surveys, dances in the pocket. Still has a nice clean pocket. Then he decides to scramble, steps up, and he's sacked. Maybe he actually gets 1 yard, but he's wrapped up by that defensive line led by Al-Qadin Muhammad. It'll be only a gain of 1 as the Eagles are forced to punt it away on their first possession of the game. What seemed to be a sack initially results in just a gain of 1. It'll be Braden Mann to punt it for Philadelphia. Khalif Raymond, the punt return. 17 returns at 8.4 yards on average. As he'll take this at the 15, and he'll run horizontally trying to find a seam, but he won't be able to do much as he loses a yard. So, no score in this game. Drive lasted 6 plays, 8 yards, only 2 minutes and 44 seconds. We're going to be taking a short break, and it'll be Detroit offense on the field after this. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. It's the Lions' possession to start things off here as Goff throws a 8-yard pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown to start things off here. Lions had a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Amon-Ra makes it a 2nd and 2. To introduce the Detroit offense, we'll have starting quarterback Jared Goff. Offensive line is Taylor Decker, Coyote Iwasaka, Graham Glasgow, Tate Ratledge, and Penei Sewell. Khalif Raymond, Jameson Williams, and Amon-Ra St. Brown are the receivers. Jameer Gibbs is the starting running back, and Sam Laporta is the starting tight end. As Jameer Gibbs gets this ball on a short pass on 2nd and 2, he'll get the first down plus a couple extra yards after the fact. It'll be first down, 1st and 10 on the Detroit 26-yard line. Jared Goff, 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the year. 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line. Goff throws in a crowded pocket, and it's picked off! Tipped and intercepted! That's Cooper DeJean, who gets the ball into Eagles territory. It's a Lions territory. It'll be at the 11-yard line. Jordan Davis tipped the Jared Goff pass, and Cooper DeJean is right there to pick it off and get the Eagles deep into the red zone. Crowded pocket for Jared Goff, and Jordan Davis jumps up, puts his hands in the air, and gives Cooper DeJean the nickel just enough time to swoop in and snatch the tipped ball. And the Eagles will get the ball on the Detroit 11-yard line. First and 10 on the Detroit 11-yard line. Hurts fakes the handoff, dumps it down to A.J. Brown, who's tackled for a gain of about 2 yards. That was Harper on the tackle there. Thomas Harper, the safety out of Notre Dame. Second down and 8. First down is at the 1-yard line. He's going to hand it off to Saquon Barkley, where he gets swarmed by a gang of Lions. It'll be no gain, as it was Barnes leading the charge. Derek Barnes, the 4-year veteran from Purdue, getting awarded the tackle on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Hurts in an empty set. 3rd down and 8. From the shotgun. Play clock down to 3. Takes the snap. Hurts throws. Pass intended for A.J. Brown, but it falls incomplete. That was Rock Ya-Sin on the pass breakup. It'll be 4th down. And out comes the field goal unit for Philly. So here's Jake Elliott. He's 8 for 10 on field goals this year. His longest made, 58. This is a 27-yard attempt with some wind that might make it a tad difficult. Kick is up and away, and it's right down the pipe. The Eagles go up 3 to start things off scoring-wise. And we'll take a short break. When we come back, it'll be Detroit ball once more after this. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football here in Philadelphia, PA. It's 3-0 Eagles after the turnover from Jared Goff, the tipped pick, leading to a field goal for Philly. This kickoff goes to Khalif Raymond. We'll get 15 yards on the return, and they will start things off on their own 21-yard line. Now we have a chance to introduce the Philly defense to you. On the defensive line, it will be Nolan Smith, Moro Ojomo, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Jalix Hunt. On the linebackers, you have Zach Bond and Jihad Campbell. The secondary, you have Dory Jackson, Reed Blankenship, Andrew Makuba, Quinion Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. 1st and 10. And they'll hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, and it'll end up in a loss of 1. Zach Bond, the All-Pro Pro Bowler from last year, on the tackle. Possibly one of Philly's best free agent signings last year, as he helped anchor that Super Bowl winning defense. Zach Bond shooting the gap to tackle Jahmyr Gibbs for a loss of 1. It's 2nd down and 11. Ball on the 20-yard line of Detroit. Sam Laporta motioning. Goff with the snap. Pressure. And he's sacked. Flag flies. And look who it is. It's Jalen Phillips, the newly acquired linebacker out of Miami. It'll be a flag on Detroit, as it's Tate Ratledge that's charged with a holding penalty that will be declined because of the sack. So Phillips gets his sack on Jared Goff. Offensive holding charge, but it's 3rd down and 16. Ball on the Detroit 15. Goff in the shotgun. Throws. And pass is incomplete. Lands in front of the dirt. Lands in the dirt in front of the feet of Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the Lions will go 3 and out. Slow start for Detroit. Their first 2 possessions, an interception and a punt. Jack Fox, the punter for Detroit. It'll be Xavier Gibson on the punt return, as this one rolls and stops at the 30-yard line. Lions touch it. Flag on the field. So there's a 10-yard holding penalty on the Eagles for holding. It was Trotter on the hold. So the Eagles will set up shop on their 20 after this break. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. It's a 3-0 ball game in favor of the home team here. Here in Philadelphia, it's a 45-degree night. Winds are blowing. And we'll start things off for Philly at their own 20-yard line after the holding penalty from the punt return. It's a pitch back to Saquon Barkley, who goes wide left and breaks some tackles before running out of bounds for a gain of 14 yards. Saquon Barkley, the reigning Offensive Player of the Year, with the first down. Eventually, it was Harper that pushes him out. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line of Philly. Under center goes Hurts, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it to Dallas Goedert, a short pass, as Goedert scampers on out of bounds for a gain of 7. Alex Anzalone credited with the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 3. They'll roll it 2nd down and 4. Hurts under center again, hands it off to Saquon Barkley. And Barkley will be tackled just a few yards short. Tyler Lacey there to wrap him up. It'll be 3rd and short for Philadelphia. Third down and 1. Ball on the 43-yard line. Hurts hands it off to Barkley once again, and it's Nowaski leading the charge for a loss of yards. Lions were all over it. Nowaski on the tackle, and they'll force a Philly punt. It was Nowaski, the weak side linebacker, coming in, unblocked, sniffing out the run. And it'll lead to another 3 and out for the Eagles. Offensive woes continue as Jack Fox punts it away. It'll be, not Jack Fox, Braden Mann. And it'll be Khalif Raymond, who is tackled for a loss of 2. And it was Ringo on the tackle. Ringo tackling Khalif Raymond for a loss of yardage. So it'll be Detroit ball once again, deep in their own territory. We're going to take a break, and we'll have more Sunday Night Football coming your way. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. We have a battle between these two NFC heavyweights as Vic Fangio, the coach of the Eagles defense, takes on Dan Campbell, who took over offensive play calling duties last week. Resulted in a 546-yard offensive showing against the Washington Commanders last week in a 44-22 win. It's different story here against these reigning Super Bowl champion Eagles as Jameson Williams takes a jet sweep that'll gain 9 yards on the play before being tackled by Makuba, the rookie from Texas, taken in the second round. It'll be 2nd down and 1 as the Lions try to get things going and wake up their sleepy offense. 2nd down and 1 on the Detroit 21-yard line. It'll be a handoff to David Montgomery, who gets the first down, and plenty more. It'll be Zach Bond and Reed Blankenship tag teaming on the tackle. And we have Lane Johnson going to the locker room. Mentioned earlier that he stepped away from last week's Monday night bout against the Packers after injuring his ankle. Back to the locker room he goes, so he'll be questionable. 1st down and 10 on the 31-yard line. Pass to David Montgomery in the short field, and he'll get just enough for the first down. David Montgomery with a gain of 10. Cooper DeJean there to tackle him. It'll be 1st down and 10 on the Detroit 37-yard line. Jared Goff in the shotgun. Drops back to throw. Throws it right up the middle and connects with Jameson Williams. That's a big play. They'll go across midfield after a gain of 19. See Jameson Williams running up for a seam, but then cutting across in the midfield to get the catch right on the logo. It'll be a gain of 19. 1st and 10 on the 44-yard line of Philly. As a little bit of trickery goes on here as Montgomery gets the handoff. But it'll only result in a gain of 2 as Ojomo, the 2023 7th rounder out of Texas, comes in to make the stop. So it'll be 2nd down and 8. With 2.5 remaining in this first quarter. Detroit in the shotgun formation. Laporta motions to the left. Goff looking to throw. Steps up, rolls out to his right, and has to dirt it in front of Sam Laporta. Or excuse me, that was Brock Wright. It'll result in an incompletion. 3rd down and 8. So on a 3rd down and long, we'll see what Detroit does. At this point, it might be 4 down territory, knowing how aggressive the Lions are, as this will be a handoff to David Montgomery, and it's not really going to go anywhere. It'll only be a gain of 2. Jalen Carter on the tackle, and it seems we have an injured player down on the field. That's their right guard, Tate Ratledge, down on the field. So, as the training staff checks on the right guard for Detroit, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. Tate Ratledge has hopped off the field, and it'll be Tristan Colon coming in relief for him. It's 4th down and 6, and the Lions are going for it. Goff in shotgun. Montgomery to his right-hand side. He'll tell Brock Wright to motion outside. And it looks like they won't take the snap. It'll just be a delay of game penalty as they take a few steps back and are simply going to punt it away. It'll be Jack Fox punting it once again. It'll 4th down and 11. Xavier Gipson on the punt return as they take a few steps back to the penalty yardage. Fox punts it away. Gibson calling for a fair catch at the 15-yard line, and that is where Philly will set up shop for their 4th possession of the game. A.J. Brown has made his displeasures voiced over this past season, as he hasn't been able to do much this whole year. He's got 408 yards, 31 receptions, and 3 touchdowns. When you compare that to last year, he had 1,079 yards, 67 receptions, 7 touchdowns, as Barkley gains 5 on the play. Hutchinson and Branch on the tackle. A.J. Brown not being able to do much this year. He's had 4 targets, 2 receptions for 14 yards tonight. 2nd down and 5 as another handoff to Barkley, and he's swallowed up in the backfield. That's Jack Campbell on the play. Be a loss of 3. And with that, it looks like the Eagles might just let the clock run down here on a 3rd and 8. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. So, after 1, it'll be the Eagles on top, leading 3-0 over the visiting Detroit Lions. We're going to take a short break, and we come back. It'll be second quarter action here on Sunday Night Football. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. As here we are in Philadelphia as the Eagles lead the Lions 3-0 at the start of the second quarter. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Jalen Hurts in the shotgun. Devontae Smith motioning to the right side. As Hurts takes the snap and he's looking to throw. Throws and pass falls. They're saying it falls incomplete as Devontae Smith couldn't hang on. And it'll be another 3 and out for the Philly offense. Braden Mann coming back onto the field once again to punt it away. Both of these defenses came to play tonight. Mann boots it. It goes across midfield. And it'll go out of bounds at around the Detroit 39-yard line. So it'll be good field position for those Motown Big Cats. Detroit's been one of the best teams in the NFL since 2023. Had its best finish, regular season finish in franchise history last year at 15-2. But injuries on the defense ultimately led to their divisional round exit against the Washington Commanders last year. Many thought that the NFC Championship would be the matchup that we're watching today. But alas, it's a long-awaited matchup that many have been waiting a long time to see. Jahmyr Gibbs having another great year, 698 yards. It's 2nd down and 4 after the gain of 6 from Gibbs. And they'll give it to him again as he bangs it up the middle before he gets wrapped up by Zach Baun. It'll be a gain of 3 to set up a 3rd and short situation. Zach Baun with the first down saving tackle. It'll be 3rd and short on the 48 of Detroit. And they'll just hand it to Gibbs once again, but he's swallowed up. Swallowed up by Jalen Carter and Jalen Phillips. And it'll be 4th down. No gain. Of course, these are the aggressive Detroit Lions we're talking about here, so they will go for it. 4th down and 1. Line to gain is at the 49. Handoff to Gibbs, and he gets stopped short. The Philly defensive line makes a stand, and the Lions turn it over on downs. Ojamo with the stop, and it stymies the Detroit offense, wasting away the good field position. We'll take a short break, and it'll be Philly ball after this. 3-0 lead the defending Super Bowl champions as we are in the second quarter, just a couple minutes into the second quarter here on Sunday Night Football. The Detroit Lions just stymied by that Philly defensive line, leading into a turnover on downs as the Eagles will get the ball on the Detroit 48-yard line. Prime position for Philly. 1st and 10 as Hurts goes under center and fakes the handoff to Barkley. Hurts launching a deep ball intended for Devontae Smith, but it'll fall way over his head out the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Going back to that 4th down stop, you could see how this Eagles defensive line was able to stymie a ferocious Lions offensive line to lead in that 4th down stop. It's 2nd down and 10 in an empty set as Hurts throws a deep pass, lofting it to Dallas Goedert, but it falls incomplete. Brian Branch on the coverage. It'll be 2 straight incompletions to start off this drive for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's 3rd down and 10. Not a lot of offense in this game so far. It's been the defense that's been shining on both sides. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Eagles are 1 for 5 on 3rd down conversion so far. They're averaging 8.4 yards on each 3rd down attempt, as this one falls incomplete. Pass intended for Devontae Smith, but he couldn't haul it in. It'll be 4th down, so 3 straight incompletions for the Eagles, and they'll have to punt it away. That was Amik Robertson on the coverage, able to prevent Devontae Smith from getting his hands on it. And once more, the Eagles will punt. Khalif Raymond making the fair catch. There's a flag on the field. They're saying it's a face mask. We'll see what the referee has to say. But it seems like this will be a penalty on the Eagles. So it'll be a face mask penalty on Trotter. And that'll result in 15 yards for the Lions. As fair catch was called at the 20-yard line. And with the penalty, the Lions will set up shop on their own 35. So it's been a slow one. It's been a slow one so far. Only a field goal scored. First half possessions resulted in an interception, couple punts, and a turnover on downs for the Lions. Let's see what they're able to do on their 5th possession, as it'll be a delayed handoff to David Montgomery, who's tackled by Cooper DeJean after a gain of 4. Vaunted Vic Fangio defense. Base in a 3-4, but they play a lot more 4-2-5 nickel. You'll have Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith on the edges. And it's Brock Wright coming in, making the catch. It'll be a gain of 4. Third down and 2. So let's see. Goff's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looking, throws it up the middle, and it's Amon-Ra St. Brown who couldn't hang on. It would have been a sure first down, but Amon-Ra couldn't get his hands on it. That's a drop. As Goff throws it a bit behind him, St. Brown gets his hands on it, and a fake punt. The Lions run a fake punt, but the Eagles are able to stop it, and it'll be another turnover on downs. It was a direct snap to Stewart, but the Eagles were all over it. Ajomo and Hunt make the stop. So on back-to-back possessions, the Lions turn it over on downs. Holy smokes. So the Eagles get another chance with great field position to add on to their lead. We're going to take a short break, and it'll be Eagles possession once more after this. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. It'll be another exciting NFC matchup as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visit the first place in the NFC West LA Rams for next Sunday night, as this will be a big gain for Saquon Barkley as he bangs it up the middle for a gain at 8. Hutchinson and Lopez on the tackle. One thing these Eagles like to do this year is run the ball. Saquon Barkley has 7 rushes. He's got 25 yards. 2nd down and 2 on the Detroit 45. It'll be another handoff to Saquon Barkley, who gets the 1st down. So it'll be a 1st down for these Eagles. 1st downs coming at a premium in this game. Not a lot of air yards for these Eagles. Jalen Hurts is 3 for 12, only 21 yards passing. A.J. Brown, the leading receiver, with 14 yards receiving. Hurts drops back, throws, and it's off the fingertips of A.J. Brown. Flies over the heads of defenders as it falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Saquon rushing 125 yards per game last year. Now it's 64.3. So some could say that he's having a down year, but is it really that surprising considering the man rushed for over 2,000 yards last year? So this will be a fake handoff to Saquon Barkley, and it'll be a throw behind the line of scrimmage to A.J. Brown. It'll be a loss of 1, as Amik Robertson was there to sniff it out and nip it at the bud. It was a bubble screen that was unsuccessful. So it'll be 3rd down and 11. Eagles will run an empty set once more. Jalen Hurts all alone in the shotgun as he looks to throw, and he's going to decide to run it. It's a quarterback draw, and it'll be a... Oh my goodness, he broke the tackle. Jalen Hurts breaks the tackle as it was initially a hip drop, but he never touched the ground and is able to scamper on for a gain of 12, which will be just enough for a 1st down. Al-Qadin Muhammad had him, but never got him to touch the ground. Jalen Hurts sat on him. Oh, but they're saying that his knee did touch the ground when Al-Qadin Muhammad tackled him initially. So what seemed to be a broken tackle will most likely be called back. Oh, never mind. They'll say it's a 1st down. They'll say it's a gain of 12. But the replay showed that Hurts' knee touched the ground when Muhammad tackled him initially. But I suppose they'll just say, play on. So the Eagles are now in the red zone once again. But this time they get it on their own terms rather than banking off of an interception, as this will be another running play. Saquon Barkley gains 3 as he's swarmed by a group of white shirts. DJ Reader earning the tackle there. Lions are down 3-0 and risk going down 10-0. Hoping to at least make it a 1-score game still by holding the Eagles to a field goal. But it's 2nd down and 7. As Hurts takes it in the shotgun, drops back, dumps it off to Saquon Barkley, who's wrapped up for a tackle for loss. That's Alex Anzalone. It'll be a loss of 8, as Anzalone was able to sniff out the screen. And there was no one blocking for Saquon anyway. Loss of 8. It'll be 3rd down and 15. Eagles averaging 2.3 yards per play. Hurts takes the snap, throws, completed to A.J. Brown, tackled at the 15. It'll be 4th and 5. So we'll see what the Eagles will do here. It's likely that they'll simply kick a field goal and push the lead to 6. But the offense remains on the field. The offense remains on the field. Are the Eagles going to go for it? It seems like they are. 69% 4th down conversion percentage. That's 8th in the NFL. Play clock very close to running out. And Nick Sirianni will call a timeout. So it'll be the first timeout in this game. Got a few Eagles fans in the building. Famous Eagles fans like Bradley Cooper and Mike Trout. Famous rock star Pink. Pete Davidson at the game. So with this timeout, it looks like they decided to bring out their kicking team. And they will go for an easy field goal. It's a 34-yard attempt. Jake Elliott made the first one. Will he make the second one? The kick is up. And it is good as the Eagles expand their lead to 6 after forcing the turnover on downs on the Lions' fake punt attempt. It'll be Lions ball down 6 when we come back after this break. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles have a 6-0 lead over the Detroit Lions. Both these teams are sitting atop their divisions in first place, and this is a bout to see who will end up with the first seed in the NFC through 11 weeks of this NFL season. So far, the Lions not being able to put up any points in this first half, as Khalif Raymond will run it on up to the 20-yard line for, the 26-yard line for the Lions. And here we are. Vic Fangio, hired as the defensive coordinator for the Eagles last year, led to them having one of the best defenses in the league, and one of the key reasons why they won that Super Bowl last year over the Kansas City Chiefs. First down and 10 on the 26-yard line. It'll be a fake handoff, as that pass looked to be tipped by Jordan Davis. It was intended for Amon-Ra St. Brown, but that Philly defensive line, once again, showing how ferocious they are. Lions haven't been able to do much. Second down and 10. It'll be a play action as Goff hurls it on over to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's got plenty of open field in front of him, until he's run out of bounds by Andrew Makuba for a gain of 34. Big play from Amon-Ra St. Brown, the two-time All-Pro, three-time Pro Bowler out of USC, making big plays for Detroit. First down and 10 on the Philly 40-yard line, as Goff goes under center for play action and connects with Jameson Williams, who's got all day and scores a touchdown for the Detroit Lions. Jameson Williams up the middle, running with open green grass, and the Lions even the score. What a play from Jameson Williams, as the busted coverage in the secondary leads to 6 for the Detroit Lions. And he'll be flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct for his celebration of touching the goalpost after the touchdown. It'll result in the extra point being a bit more difficult. And that's something to pay attention to, because it's very, very windy here tonight. So a more difficult extra point might lead to some mishaps here. So Jake Bates will kick the extra point from the 30 after the unsportsmanlike penalty. The kick is up, and it's wide right. No good. And the score is tied at 6. Jameson Williams hugging the goalpost, celebrating his touchdown, leads to Jake Bates missing the field goal. These are 35-mile-an-hour gusts here in Philadelphia right now, and that led to the missed point after attempt. So we have a tie game here, 6-all, with 5 minutes remaining in the first half. So it'll be Philly ball. Seems like we'll stay here. As the Lions get ready to kick it on back to the defending champs. Sox on the hold. Jake Bates getting ready to kick it back. So we'll see how the Eagles will answer after the Lions even things up. So on the return, it was Xavier Gibson on the return. He'll take it up to the Philly 36-yard line. It's a low-scoring affair, but it's all knotted up at 6. 5:05 remaining in this half. The Lions scoring on a 3-play, 74-yard touchdown that lasted less than a minute to tie things up. Be first down and 10 on the Philly 36-yard line. Here's the reigning Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts, in the shotgun. Takes the snap, surveys and throws, and connects with A.J. Brown, who's tackled by Amik Robertson. It'll be a gain of 9. I'm sure A.J. Brown is happy to receive the ball after voicing his displeasure with the Philadelphia offensive performance all year. 8 targets tonight, 5 receptions, 32 yards. Second down and 1. Hurts takes the snap, drops back, throws, and gets the first down. It's Kylen Granson on the reception. 2021 fourth rounder out of SMU, originally drafted by Indianapolis. Makes the catch and the first down for Philadelphia. Got about 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Detroit has 6 first downs. Philly has 5. First down and 10 on the 49-yard line as Barkley gets the handoff and is eventually tackled after a gain of 5. That's Jack Campbell on the tackle. The combo of Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts is a lethal ground and pound combo that the Lions are having difficulty with. It's second down and 5. Hurts throws and connects with Devontae Smith. No, excuse me, that's Jahan Dotson. And he gets the first down. It'll be a gain of 9 as Amik Robinson pushes him out of bounds. Clock stops. Or it keeps on running, actually. It's 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Hurts is 8 for 17, 52 yards in this first half so far. 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. 1 minute until the 2-minute warning. It's a fumble, but Saquon Barkley is there to cover it. As a bad handoff put the football on the ground, but Saquon Barkley was able to cover it, resulting in a prevention of disaster. Bad handoff, and the Lions were very close to getting a turnover there. But luckily, Saquon gets on top of it. So Saquon will come off, and it'll be Tank Bigsby in at running back. It's second down and 13. And they'll hand it up to Bigsby, who goes wide to the right and breaks the tackle, gets the first down, plenty more. Tank Bigsby with a gain of 17. And the Eagles get the first down and are knocking on the door of the red zone after that. 2-minute warning here in Philadelphia after the big-time run from Tank Bigsby. So with the 2-minute warning coming around, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. We're at the 2-minute warning here as the Eagles are knocking on the door of the red zone after a 17-yard run from Tank Bigsby to get the Eagles down to the Detroit 23-yard line. There will be plenty to talk about at the halftime, going over these past games that happened this Sunday. So with the 2-minute warning, remember there are no coaches' challenges allowed. Everything will be up from the replay center in New York. 6-6 is the score of this game as Saquon gets the handoff and goes wide, finding an open seam, and he'll be stopped by Brian Branch after a gain of 7. So a gain of 7 on the play. It's Tank Bigsby still out there. 2nd down and 3. As the Eagles are officially in the red zone. Ball at the 16-yard line. Hurts under center. Fake the pitch. It'll be a throw to A.J. Brown, and he'll be tackled by Rock Ya-Sin at the 5-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11. 1st and goal for Philadelphia. A.J. Brown making the catch on a quick slant, and Rock Ya-Sin there to make the tackle. A.J. Brown at 6 receptions and 43 yards today. 1st and goal for the Eagles. Haven't been able to cash out on these red zone trips so far as they hand it off to Saquon Barkley, who charges on ahead, and they'll say touchdown. Saquon Barkley getting on through into the end zone. Philly back on top. Saquon Barkley breaking tackles, charging through, trucking ahead for the score. They're looking at it to see if he made sure that he crossed the line, and it seems like he did. This might stand. Doesn't seem like it's clear and obvious enough to reverse it. Unless otherwise. But as it stands right now, they'll take a short break as they decide whether that score is good or not. So as they take a break, we'll stay right here. We'll talk about how the Eagles got here to begin with. Currently, it's an 8-play drive. 59 yards, taken 3 minutes and 52 seconds off of the clock. 9 plays, 63 yards. And that's what we'll say. That's what we'll say. So, A.J. Brown so far leading the team in receiving. He's got 6 receptions for 43 yards. Saquon Barkley leading the team in rushing, 12 carries for 32 yards. Tank Bigsby not far behind him with 29 yards. Jalen Hurts is 9 for 18. He's throwing 50%. 63 yards throwing. On the flip side, you got Jared Goff, 7 for 12, 119 yards. He's got a touchdown and a pick. David Montgomery leading the charge on the rushing attack, 14 yards with 4 carries. Jameson Williams leading Detroit in receiving, 2 receptions for 59 yards and the touchdown. Amon-Ra not far behind him with 2 receptions for 42 yards. So far, there have been a few fumbles, but No fumbles lost. But there has been a turnover. Cooper DeJean picking off Jared Goff in the first drive of this game. We'll head on back. As it looks like the commercial break is about to end. And they'll say that that Saquon was short of the goal line. It'll be no touchdown. They'll take the touchdown off the board. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be second down and goal at the 1-yard line. So, second and goal at the 1-yard line. What do you think the Eagles are going to do? Of course, it's the tush push. Touchdown, Jalen Hurts. Tush push successful once more. And the Eagles back on top in this contest. 10 seconds remaining in the first half as the Eagles score off a Jalen Hurts rush with the tush push. Very hard to stop that one. Lions doing the best they can to stop it, but it's just hard to stop. The Eagles have perfected it. So here is Elliott with the point after attempt. The kick is up, and it's right down the pipe. The Eagles take a 7-point lead as they lead the Lions 13-6 with 16 seconds remaining. The Eagles started with the ball to begin this game, so Detroit will get it at the end of halftime. But they're going to have to do a lot of work. It's a one-score affair as Philadelphia leads Detroit 13-6. It's a low-scoring game, but it's a close one so far. As the Eagles are getting ready to kick it back to Detroit with 16 seconds remaining in this first half. Kick is up and away, and it'll go out the end zone. Touchback. Lions will get the ball on their own 35-yard line. With 16 seconds left and all 3 timeouts, perhaps the Lions might try to get aggressive and maybe take some points here before the half. But it looks like no, they'll just simply take a knee to go into halftime. So 13-6 lead the Eagles after the first half. And we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, I'll give you the halftime report going over all the games that happened today. And then after that, it'll be second half action here on YouTube Live. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. It's the halftime show here as the Philadelphia Eagles lead the Detroit Lions 13-6. There's only a few minutes left until they return from halftime, so we're going to go through the scores of these past few games real quickly here. To start off with the Thursday night game, the New England Patriots came out triumphant over the visiting New York Jets as they won 27-14. Travion Henderson scoring 3 touchdowns as the Patriots go on their 8th straight victory. In Madrid, Spain, the Dolphins defeat the Washington Commanders in overtime 16-13. In the early slate, it was a lot of exciting games. The Panthers upsetting the Atlanta Falcons, sweeping them for the season 30-27 in overtime. The Bills defeating the Buccaneers 44-32. That's scoregami, by the way. Texans defeating the Tennessee Titans 16-13. Davis Mills is 2-0 as a backup. The Bears defeat the Vikings to go to 7-3 after a walk-off field goal to win 19-7. The Packers defeat the New York Giants in their first game without Brian Daboll as their coach. 27-20 is the final score there. The Steelers defeat the Bengals 34-12. However, Aaron Rodgers left the game with a left wrist injury. The Jaguars blow out the Chargers 35-6 in Jacksonville. The Rams defeat the Seattle Seahawks 21-19 to take sole possession of the NFC West. Meanwhile, on the other side of the NFC West, the 49ers go to Arizona and trounce the Cardinals 41-22 as Brock Purdy returns and scores 3 touchdowns passing. The Ravens defeat the Browns 23-16. They are now 5-5. They've won 4 in a row to get to 500 and are very much in line of winning the AFC North still. The Broncos managed to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs and take sole possession of first place in the AFC West at 9-2. They're 6-0 at home, the Denver Broncos. So with that, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll give you second half action here on YouTube Live. It's the beginning of the second half here on Sunday Night Football as the Eagles lead the Lions 13-6. The Eagles have one more possession than the Lions, and with that extra possession, they have the lead. It'll be the Lions taking over for the second half, getting the first possession here. So Jake Elliott will kick it off. And this one will go out of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. To the 35 go the Lions. And that is where they'll set up shop to kick off this second half of Sunday Night Football. Lions have plenty of ground to make up for. Weren't able to do much in the first half. Their first few possessions were interception, punt, turnover on downs once more after a failed fake punt attempt, and then finally a touchdown. 1st and 10 on the 35. It's a short screen pass to Jahmyr Gibbs, who has plenty of green gas and goes on the way through for the first down and plenty more before being pushed out of bounds by Cooper DeJean for a gain of 17. Short screen pass to Jahmyr Gibbs, who goes wide left for a gain of 17. 29 total yards for Jahmyr Gibbs. See if the Lions try to get him more involved. As they do, Gibbs with the ball once again, tackled for the first down. Zach Bond on the tackle. Another fresh set of downs for Detroit. So we have 2 plays for 28 yards. 2 first downs. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll give it to Gibbs once more. And it looks like the Eagles are ready for it. That's Jordan Davis on the tackle. Gain of 1 on the play. Jordan Davis, the 2022 first rounder out of Georgia. Able to swallow up Jahmyr Gibbs. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Goff takes the snap, throws a short pass to Brock Wright, who is pushed out of bounds by Cooper DeJean after a gain of 4. So it'll be 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and medium situation for the Detroit Lions. Goff in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to his side. Takes the snap and he's looking to throw. Throws over the middle and it's out of the hands of Amon-Ra St. Brown once again. Diving for it but just couldn't get his hands on it. It'll be 4th down and 5. Nakobe Dean was there on the defense. So the Lions will go for it. They're 0 for 2 on 4th down conversions tonight. Eagles have been all over them. So it's 4th down and 5. Goff throws and dropped pass from Jameson Williams. They'll turn it over on downs once more. 0 for 3 on 4th downs tonight are the Detroit Lions. The Eagles stifling Detroit as Jameson Williams drops the pass. It'll be Eagle ball for the first time in the second half after this break. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football here on YouTube Live. I'm Mark Aziz. The Philadelphia Eagles lead the Detroit Lions 13-6. The Eagles have it on the Lions' 33-yard line after the Lions turn it over on downs once again. Saquon Barkley will take the first snap of the second half for Philadelphia. It'll result in a gain of 4 as he bangs it up the middle. 2nd down and 6 for the Eagles. And shotgun for Philadelphia. Saquon to the left-hand side of Jalen Hurts, as he'll take it and go up the middle for a gain of 5. He won't get the first down, as it's Jack Campbell and Tyleik Williams on the tackle. 3rd down and 1 for Philadelphia. So the Eagles on 3rd and short decide to do a tush push, but flags fly as it's a false start penalty. Eagles aren't happy about it, but there was very clearly some movement there. False start on the right guard. That was Steen. Eagles think that it was a neutral zone infraction, but it will be a false start penalty instead. Eagles aren't happy about it, but considering how many times they've gotten away with false starts with this play before, they might as well take it. It's 3rd down and 5. Hurts looking to throw. Throws it. Looking for Dotson. Or excuse me, that was Kylan Granson, but it falls incomplete. It's 4th and 5. Alex Anzalone breaking up the pass. The man with the golden locks on the coverage, taking care of Granson, who isn't able to catch it. So it'll be a punt for the Eagles. 2 possessions belonging to each team. Nothing coming out of it for either of them. The Eagles will take a delay of game penalty to make the punt easier. As Braden Mann will punt it on away. Khalif Raymond on the punt return. Khalif Raymond will call for a fair catch, and it'll be at the Detroit 28-yard line. So we have a 7-point game here in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles lead the Lions 13-6. When we come back, it'll be the Lions' 2nd possession of the second half. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. It's the Lions' second possession in the second half as they trail the Philadelphia Eagles 6-13. It's first down and 10 on the Detroit 28-yard line. David Montgomery in as the halfback on this drive. Jared Goff under center as he hands it off to Montgomery, who charges on ahead for a gain of 6 on the play. It was Ojomo on the tackle. Second down and 4 on the 34-yard line. Goff in the shotgun throws a screen pass to Gibbs, and Gibbs breaks on through. Jahmyr Gibbs breaking through. Green grass. Jahmyr Gibbs going deep into Philly territory. Down at the 25. Big play from Jahmyr Gibbs as he goes 42 yards before being tackled by Campbell and Bond. The screen pass with blockers in front as Jahmyr Gibbs turns on the engines and flies past the Philly defense for a gain of 42. The Lions are knocking on the door of the red zone now as they are on the Philadelphia 24-yard line as a first down. Handoff to Gibbs, who is tackled by Nolan Smith after a gain of 2. Jahmyr Gibbs with a big-time play, flipping the field for the Lions. A shotgun snap and a handoff up the middle for Gibbs. It'll be wrapped up by Jalen Carter after a gain of I believe it's a gain of 5. We'll see whether the officials spot it. They'll say it's a gain of 4. Third down and 4. Goff in the shotgun. Gibbs to his left-hand side. He'll take the snap and hand it to Gibbs once again, who gets the first down and plenty more. Gain of 10 for Jahmyr Gibbs, who's taking over this offensive drive for the Detroit Lions. 5 plays and 64 yards, most of them from Jahmyr Gibbs, the 2-time Pro Bowler. First and goal for the Lions. Goff throws to Jamison Williams, who's tackled by Adoree Jackson. It'll be a gain of 2. Six plays and 66 yards with 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That's how long this drive has been taken. Second and goal. And it'll be another handoff to Gibbs, who stopped. He almost had an open field looking for the end zone, but it's Reed Blankenship that came in like a missile and just stopped him right in his tracks. I'll have to look at the replay here as boom, Reed Blankenship coming in from the gap to stop Gibbs. If he wasn't there, then it would have been a walk-in touchdown for sure. It's third down and goal. Lions are 1 for 6 on third down conversions tonight. They'll hand it off to Gibbs once again, But the Eagles are ready for it. There's no gain on that one. Jalen Carter leading the charge. And it's a 4th down and goal. So it's decision time for Dan Campbell and company. They've been having difficulties against these Eagles all night. 0 for 3 on 4th down conversions. We'll see. Do they decide to go for the field goal? No. This is Dan Campbell's Lions we're talking about. They're going to go for it on 4th down on the 3-yard line. Goff looking to throw. Heaves it into the end zone. Incomplete. The Eagles stop the Lions once more for the 4th straight time. Pass intended for Amon-Ra St. Brown, but Jalen Phillips was there. And he stops the Lions once again. Fourth down woes continue for Detroit as they trail the Eagles by a touchdown. When we come back, it'll be Philly ball after this. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football as the Eagles are holding the Detroit Lions 0 for 4 on 4th down tonight as they give the Lions woes as they continue to hold them to 6 points tonight. Eagles lead 13-7, up by a touchdown as Hurts' pass to A.J. Brown falls incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10. Ball's on the Eagles' 3-yard line. Eagle 4-yard line, excuse me. Hurts, under pressure, scrambles to his right, throws, and makes the catch. It's Jahan Dotson, and flags are flying. Brian Branch is on the ground after the fact. shaken up after the play, but Jahan Dotson makes the catch. It looks like it'll be a unnecessary roughness penalty as Branch connects with Dotson helmet to helmet. We'll have to see what they say. So it'll be a gain of 34 from Jahan Dotson. And on top of that gain, it'll be a 15-yard penalty because Brian Branch hit him helmet to helmet. A big-time play for these Philadelphia Eagles. To add insult to injury, Branch hurt. We'll see how he's doing. He appears to be still on the field. And now the Eagles are on Detroit territory already. Ball on the 47-yard line of Detroit. 1st and 10. It'll be a pitch back to Saquon Barkley, who runs wide right and gets about 6 yards on the play. It'll be pushed out of bounds by Harper at the end of the play. 2nd down and 4. Barkley at 15 rushing attempts for 47 yards tonight. Second down and 4. Hurts under pressure, and he's swallowed up and sacked. That's Roy Lopez. Loss of 11 after the sack from Roy Lopez, the 4-year veteran from Arizona. And that's a big setback for this Philly offense. Tough play for these Eagles. It's 3rd down and 15. Hurts takes the snap and shotgun. Looks to throw. It's a deep pass. A.J. Brown the target, but it goes incomplete. Overthrown. And it's 4th down and 15. So the Lions defense stands up once more and keeps this a 1-score game, as the Eagles are going to have to punt it away. We'll see if the Lions are able to do something about it. Having a lot of difficulty tonight. Khalif Raymond fielding it at the 10. Running and eventually getting tackled at the 15. It was Calais Ringo on the tackle. It's a 13-6 ball game in the city of brotherly love, with 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. We're going to take a short break, and after that, we'll be right back with Lions Ball. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. It's a 13-6 ball game in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles here in Philadelphia. It's been tough sledding for these Detroit Lions all night as the Eagles' defensive line has held them to 0 for 4 on fourth down conversions. Jared Goff's been pressured on 4 out of 5 dropbacks on third and fourth downs. He's 0 for 5 on those dropbacks. Here we have him on a 1st and 10 for the Detroit Lions. It's on their own 15-yard line. Goff is under center as he'll take the snap, fake the handoff, dodge the pressure, and throw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, but he can't connect. It'll be incomplete. Eight targets for Amon-Ra St. Brown tonight, but only 2 receptions. Jared Goff, 12 for 21. Second down and 10 for Detroit. Jared Goff in shotgun as he looks to throw once more. And is it nearly intercepted? But it bounced off the turf. Intended for Isaac Tisla, the third-round rookie from Arkansas. That's the first time we're calling his name today. It's his first target of the night. And it was just barely incomplete, nearly intercepted. Quinion Mitchell on the coverage. Makuba with the near pick. Third down and 10. 2 straight incompletions for Detroit. They've made no movement. Shotgun snap. Goff throws a short pass to Jahmyr Gibbs. And here he goes once again. Jahmyr Gibbs breaking tackles, stiff-arming defenders, and being tackled just short of midfield. A big-time play from a big-time player as Jahmyr Gibbs gains 33 yards off the pass. A simple screen pass, and the Lions blockers do their jobs, while Jahmyr Gibbs just running through defenders, dodging, weaving, juking, spinning. There's a pitch back to David Montgomery on 1st and 10, and he gets 7 on the run. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It's second down. Gibbs on the sideline taking a breather after his big play. Montgomery in the halfback position. Second down and 3 on the Philly 45. Goff from under center. Fakes the handoff to Montgomery and throws it to his tight end, Brock Wright, who's starting in relief of Sam Laporta, who was just put on IR yesterday with a back injury. But the pass falls incomplete. It's third down and 3. The Lions have had a lot of difficulty with third down tonight. Haven't been able to make a lot of conversions. But it's third and short. So it's workable. Jared Goff's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looking to throw. Throws it, but it's batted down. Jalen Carter. Once again, this Philly defensive line is simply suffocating the Detroit Lions. Jalen Carter pushing in from the double team, but putting his hands up and batting the pass away. So it's fourth down and 3. And the Lions will once again go for it. Play clock down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They'll get the snap off in time. Throw and incomplete. 5 straight fourth down conversions failed for Detroit. The Eagles defense stands tall. Pass was intended for Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's his 9th target. But these Lions just can't do anything against this Philly D. What a play. Quinion Mitchell swatting away the pass. And the Lions frustrated. 6 points are all Detroit can muster this game. Philly only mustering 7 more. 13-6 remains the ball game. Philly has the ball again. Barkley trying to make something out of nothing, but it'll just be nothing. Jack Campbell on the tackle makes it a gain of 0 on the play. 2nd down as the clock ticks, closing this 3rd quarter. Perhaps they get one more play in before this 3rd quarter concludes. It's 2nd down and 10. Hurts in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's looking to throw. It's a dump down to Saquon Barkley, who is tackled by Ruck Yassin. There are flags on the field. Two flags are on the field. I have to see what the referee has to say about it. So, the gain from Saquon will be nullified since A.J. Brown is charged with a low block foul. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. And it will be a 2nd down. 2nd and 25. But it looks like they'll just let this clock tick on down. That might be the end of the 3rd quarter, unless they snap it right away. 2nd down and 18. And they'll just take this into the 4th quarter. Score remains the same. 13-6 lead the Eagles over the Lions. So far, the Lions suffering from this Philly defense. 0 for 5 on 4th down conversions as the Eagles stand tall in this football game. When we come back, it'll be 4th quarter action right here on YouTube Live. It's the fourth quarter here in Sunday Night Football as the Philadelphia Eagles lead the Detroit Lions 13-6. It's second down and 18 after the low block penalty on A.J. Brown as Jalen Hurts drops back to throw but decides to scramble up to the left side. Jalen Hurts scrambles for a 7-yard run until he's pushed out of bounds by Jack Campbell. So Hurts will take the Philly ball all the way to the 44-yard line. Third down and 11 for the Eagles. Play clock down to 3 as he gets the snap off. Hurts looking to throw, scrambles to his right, throws a deep pass, and it's caught by A.J. Brown. They're saying he caught it, but he didn't get the first down. But there is a flag on the field. They're saying it's a holding call on the defense. So it's Amik Robinson charged with the defensive holding. So even though A.J. Brown doesn't get the first down, the Eagles will simply accept the penalty as it is an automatic first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. First and 10 on the 49-yard line. Hurts takes the snap from under center and he hands it off to Saquon Barkley, who goes wide left and gets the first down. But there are flags on the field. This might come back. It'll be a holding penalty on Jordan Mailata, the 8-year veteran from Australia and one-time All-Pro left tackle. He'll be caught holding Alex Anzalone as the 10-yard run will be negated. So instead of a 1st and 10, it'll be a 1st and 20 for the Eagles. And from the shotgun, they'll hand it off to Tank Bigsby, and he'll get tackled by Aiden Hutchinson after a gain of 6. So with the gain of 6, it'll be 2nd and 14 for the Eagles. Hurts from the shotgun. Looks to throw. Connects with Devontae Smith, who's pushed out of bounds by Arthur Mollett. It'll be a gain of 8. It's a low-scoring affair for these Eagles as Jalen Hurts has just now hit the 100-yard passing mark. He's 12 for 24, 112 yards passing. Devontae Smith has had 5 targets so far. That's his first reception of the night. 3rd down and 6. In an empty set, Jalen Hurts takes the snap and he decides to run for it. Jalen Hurts gets the first down and plenty more as he's tackled by Alex Anzalone past the 40-yard line. First down plus 5. It'll be a gain of 11 after the fact. The Eagles are now in Detroit territory. after the Jalen Hurts run. First down and 10 on the Detroit 36-yard line. Empty set once again for the Eagles. Hurts telling the plays to his offensive line. Takes the snap from the shotgun, and he's looking to throw. Scrambles to his right, throws a deep pass intended for Saquon Barkley, but it's overthrown. Second down and 10. Eagles trying to go up 2 scores. It's been hard for the aerial attack for Philly all year. Second down and 10. Hurts in the shotgun. He's going to try and look to air it out once more. Scrambling to his right. He throws it away. Jahan Dotson was the nearest receiver. It'll be another incompletion. Third down and 10. Jordan Mailata, 30 pass blocking snaps, no sacks, only 1 pressure. Third down and 10. And it's a short pass completed to A.J. Brown. But he doesn't get the first down. He's tackled at the Detroit 30 by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Eagles will trot out their kicking team. It'll be Jake Elliott to make this a 10-point game. He's 2 for 2 tonight. He's made it from 27 and 34. This one from 49. Winds are a-blowin'. The snap, the hold, the kick right down the middle. The Eagles take a 10-point lead. 16-6. So with that, we're going to take a short break, and it'll be Detroit ball after this. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. It's been pain and misery for these Detroit Lions on fourth down. So far, on fourth down attempts, the Lions haven't been able to do much. 2 for 9 on third down, 0 for 5 on fourth. So altogether, combining third and fourth down efficiency, the Lions are 2 for 14. The Eagles have them in a stranglehold right now as they lead by 10, 16-6. Eagles trying to stay atop the NFC and maintain a hold on that number 1 seed. The Lions coming in trying to upset them. Not a lot of teams in the NFC have been able to defeat the Eagles at home. They're 3-1 at home so far this year. Their last 3 possessions, all possessions in the third quarter, have been turnovers on downs. It's first down and 10 on the 39-yard line. They'll hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who has plenty of green grass going wide left, and he will get the first down. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs with 39 yards on 12 carries. First and 10. Goff in the shotgun. He's going to look to throw under pressure, and he just darts it. Brock Wright was the nearest receiver, but that ball never had a chance. He was under intense pressure there as Jalen Phillips, the newly acquired linebacker out of Miami, comes in and nearly gets the sack on Jared Goff. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Jared Goff in the shotgun once again. 2 wide receivers on each side as Goff looks to throw, and he'll throw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, but it'll be another incompletion as the field touches the ball at the same time as Amon-Ra St. Brown does. It'll be incomplete, and Goff will be 13 for 28 after that throw. 3rd down and 10. They were 2 for 9 on 3rd down tonight. Goff takes the snap. He's got to throw it past the sticks, and it's broken up. Andrew Makuba, the rookie, breaks up the pass intended for Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it's 4th down and 10. The Lions are forced to punt. A defensive masterclass from this Philadelphia defense. Jack Fox back to punt once again. It'll be, a bounce ball, who touches it, and it goes out of bounds. A near disaster. Near disaster for the Philadelphia Eagles, with the ball bounces out of bounds after Jahan Dotson, that was Xavier Gibson, touches it. The Lions trying to get on top of what would have been a muffed punt, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be Philly ball at the 15-yard line. When we come back, it'll be Eagles possession once more. In the NFC standings so far, the Eagles are atop their division at 7-2. The Rams currently have the best record in the NFC at 8-2. Lions have the best record in the NFC North at the moment. But if they lose, it might be the Chicago Bears who get first place in the division so far. On that first down pass, it was a gain of 17. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the 39. Saquon up the middle. Gain of 8 for Saquon Barkley after being tackled by Alex Anzalone. Ball will be on the Philly 40-yard line. Good start for this Philly offense. A 17-yard pass to Dallas Goedert. And then an 8-yard run from Saquon Barkley to get this offensive machine moving. 2nd down and 2. Hurts under center. Saquon alone in the backfield. It'll be a handoff, but the Lions are all over it. Saquon spinning, trying to make his way through those defenders, but the Lions say no. No gain. Well, they'll say a gain of 1, but that's Alex Anzalone and Barnes. Derek Barnes on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down. 3rd and short. And of course, in 3rd and short situations, they're going to do the tush push. But I don't think they got it. A rare unsuccessful tush push. And the Eagles are facing a 4th down. Perhaps they simply try it again. Fourth down in inches is what they'll say. And they'll do it again. And flags fly as the referees get the Eagles on a false start penalty. Penalty will be on Darius Cooper, the rookie from Tarleton State, as the Eagles are going to have to punt it away after the false start. So past 2 possessions will result in punts. There's 6:25 remaining in this 4th quarter. The only points scored have been a field goal from Philly this entire second half. The ball will bounce and stop at around the 15-yard line of Detroit. Shipley will down it. And it'll be Lions ball after this break. It's a 16-6 ball game with 6:14 remaining in the fourth quarter. First down and 10 on the Detroit 15-yard line for the Detroit Lions. A screen pass intended for Jahmyr Gibbs will fall incomplete. It was inaccurate, a bit too far out of reach for Jahmyr Gibbs. It wouldn't have seemed to have been successful anyway, as there were Philly defenders all over it. Lions have been reduced to fits from this Philly D. Second down and 10. Goff takes the snap from the shotgun. Under pressure, he'll dump it off, but it's swatted down once again. Jordan Davis wagging his finger, telling him, no, no, no. You got to play much better than that. Third down and 10. Jordan Davis got so much of a hand on it, it was nearly picked. Third down and 10. Lions are 2 for 10 from third down tonight. Goff looking, throws, and completes for the third down conversion of the night. It's Jameson Williams down past the 40. Gain of 27. Jameson Williams having himself a night. 4 receptions, 88 yards, and a touchdown. Fake handoff. It'll be a short pass to Gibbs, but he can't get his hands on it. Incomplete. Second down and 10. $5:20 remaining in this game. Lions are going to have to pick up the pace. Second down and 10. Another batted pass from Jalen Carter. The defensive line of Philadelphia is feasting tonight. My heavens indeed. Eagles putting up a dominant performance. Third down and 10 once again. Goff looking to throw, and it falls incomplete. Jahmyr Gibbs, the intended target. But once again, the Lions face a 4th down and 10. Nakobe Dean on the coverage. And the Lions will have to punt once again. Punt is away. They'll call for a fair catch. It'll be on the 20-yard line of the Eagles. Xavier Gipson on the punt return. It's been a dominant performance for these Philadelphia Eagles tonight. In terms of time of possession, they have about 8 minutes on the Lions, 31-41 to 23-13. They're winning the turnover battle by 1. They've converted more. Well, they've actually converted the same amount of third downs as the Lions, but they never bothered to go for it on fourth down. The Lions are over 5 on fourth down. They've had 3 more plays, less yards than the Lions. At this point, both are at 12 drives. But the Eagles are dominating on the rushing attack, 132 rushing yards to 74. So, 2-yard run there by Saquon Barkley. It's 2nd down and 8. From the shotgun, they'll hand it off to Barkley once more. And Barkley, charging on through, is tackled just short of the first down. It'll be 1 yard short. Brought down to the 29-yard line. They need to get to the 30 for a first. Third down and 1. Eagles at this point are just trying to get as much time off the clock as possible. 3:52 and counting. If they get this third down, the Lions might have to start thinking about using their timeouts. Philadelphia in tush-push formation, and it looks like they get the first down. We'll see what the referees say. It looks like it's an unsuccessful tush-push once again. So the Lions have stopped the tush-push 2 times in a row. 4th and inches once again. You'd have to think they're just going to do it again, right? Clock is ticking. 5 seconds remaining on the play clock. Cam Jurgens walking into the locker room. They'll have to call a timeout. So the Eagles will take their first timeout of the second half and think about what they'll do here with 3 minutes left in this game. The remaining schedule for the Eagles, they'll play the Cowboys next week in Dallas, face off against the Bears here in Philly, travel to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. They'll go to Vegas. They'll have the Vegas Raiders come and visit. They'll travel to Washington to play the Commanders, then travel to Buffalo, and then come back home to face the Commanders for Week 18. So, after the timeout, it's 4th and inches, and they'll simply do it again. I'm not sure if he got it. I think Detroit might have forced a turnover on downs. We'll have to see what the referees say. They're saying it's Detroit ball. Looking at it, he didn't get it. So, the Lions stopped the tush push 3 times in a row and managed to force a turnover on downs, giving the Eagles a taste of their own medicine. So with 2:57 remaining in the game, the Lions trail by 10, 16-6, lead the Eagles. It's 1st down and 10, and they're in Philly territory. On the Philadelphia 29-yard line, Goff is under pressure, throws, pass intended for Jameson Williams, but he can't connect. 2nd down and 10. 2:51 left on the clock. Detroit has all 3 of their timeouts. They may be in plus territory, but they're still going to have to work to get every single point that they can. When it comes to playing the Philadelphia Eagles, points are at a premium. 2nd down and 10. Goff takes the snap, under pressure, throws, and he drops the ball. The ball's on the ground. It looks like they'll say it's an incomplete pass. They'll say it's a sack. Nakobe Dean credited with the sack. On the replay, yeah, it's a sack. Ball didn't come out until he was down on the ground. So it'll be a loss of 7. As it's another passing attempt. Looking to pass, and it is nearly intercepted. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the intended receiver, but Cooper DeJean was right there and got his hands on it for just a moment before it fell short. 4th down and 17. As he was making the throw, it was Zach Bond who comes in and lays the wood on Jared Goff. 4th down and 17. The offense stays on the field, but it's the Eagles that call timeout with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left. So with the timeout, there's 3 seconds left until the 2-minute warning of this game. It appears the winds have calmed down for a brief moment. So they'll bring out their kicker, Jake Bates, to make this a one-score game. Jake Bates, this will be his first field goal attempt tonight. It'll be from 54. Snap is away. Hold. Kick is up. And it is good. Right down the middle as the Lions make this a one-touchdown game once again. The Eagles lead 16-9 as we head into the 2-minute warning. So we'll take a short break, and when we come back, it'll be Eagle ball with less than 2 minutes remaining. Detroit has all 3 of their timeouts, so if they can get one more stop, the Lions might have a chance at tying this up. But until then, we'll take a short break, and we'll give you final 2 minutes of this game after this. Welcome back to Sunday Night Football. It's a one-score game. The Eagles lead by 7 over the Detroit Lions. The question is whether the Lions will do an onside kick or a normal kickoff. It looks like they'll do a normal kickoff, according to their formation. So they'll kick it up and away, and this one will go into the end zone for a touchback. So Jalen Hurts will take the field with the ball at their own 35-yard line. Rain starts to fall. 44 degrees is the temperature in Philadelphia. All the Eagles need is a first down, but remember the Lions also have their timeouts. All 3 of them. So from the shotgun, they'll hand it off to Saquon, and he'll get a gain of 4. Timeout calls Detroit. That's their first of 3. Gain of 5 on the play. So it'll be second down and 5. That's a 30-second timeout taken by Detroit. Saquon has 22 rushes for 71 yards. In 2024, he had 17 20-plus yard rushes. This year, he has only 2. It's second down and 5. They'll hand it to him once again. And the Lions will swallow him up. Short gain, only about 2. The Lions will take their second timeout. So gain of 2 on the play. It's third down and 3. For the Lions, it all comes down to this. If they're unable to stop the Eagles and allow a first down, that'll be the game. So it's third down and 3. The Eagles in shotgun. And flags fly. It's a false start penalty on the Eagles. They'll take 5 yards back. Very advantageous for the Detroit Lions. That was Fred Johnson charged with the false start. Standing in relief of Lane Johnson. So 3rd and 5 becomes 3rd and 8. Hurts looks to throw. Pass intended for A.J. Brown. But flags are on the field, and it's in the secondary. Oh, no. And it's a pass interference on Rock Ya-Sin. Automatic first down, and that spoils the Lions' chances. Very close, but Rock Ya-Sin clearly grabs at A.J. Brown's right hand. And it'll be a 8-yard penalty. So it's first down and 10 on the Philly 45. They'll hand it to Saquon, but it won't go anywhere as Detroit takes their final timeout. Heartbreak for all the Detroit fans as Rock Ya-Sin, who's had a rough night, is getting called for a pass interference call that could very well cost the Lions this game. So it'll be second down and 10. But the Lions have no timeouts remaining. They'll simply hand it off to Saquon once more. The Lions stop him. It'll be only a 2-yard gain. Jack Campbell leading the charge. And the clock ticks. So with about 70 seconds remaining, it looks like the Eagles will simply just let the clock go all the way down until they'll have to take their final timeout. That they will. So with 57 seconds remaining, the Eagles take their final timeout. It's 3rd down and 8. And man, what a performance from this Philadelphia defense. So many passes batted down at the line of scrimmage from Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Three batted passes for Jordan Davis tonight. Just an absolutely dominant performance. So it's 3rd down and 8. They'll hand the ball off to Saquon. And Saquon with a spin move gets the first down. And that will end it. That will all but end it. With that spin move and first down, the Eagles will come away with the victory, improve to 8-2, and remain atop the NFC. Hurts will take one knee, and that will do it. The Philadelphia Eagles defeat the Detroit Lions. Final score 16-9. With this victory, the Eagles improve to 8-2, and the Lions fall to 6-4. The Chicago Bears are now atop the NFC North. And the Eagles have the number 1 seed in the NFC through 11 weeks. So with that, that is the game. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Next week will be the Buccaneers at the LA Rams. So until then, we have more excitement coming our way. The playoff races in both conferences are only going to get more exciting as the weeks go on. So with that, there will be plenty of excitement coming our way. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning into this broadcast. For the last time, final score, Philadelphia 16, Detroit 9. The Eagles stay atop the NFC as they defeat the Detroit Lions. So with that, that'll be all. And I will see you on the flip side. Have a good night, everybody.